Okay, good afternoon again. This is another video I would like to make for your for as an additional resource for our class simulation arena. This is the model that actually we am trying to copy from this one, which is the loan application model 3.2 belong to arena. And okay, so everything is the same, like in terms of process time, the number of the capacity resource, and so on. So again, I don't want to name like say check credit and so on. Just say process one like A, B, C, D, so that it's easy to understand. And the purpose to about this one is to understand the number of the entity, arrival, enter the process A, leave the process A, enter the process B, leave the process B, and so on. So I can understand from our textbook 3.2, we have the results for all the process one, right? Reserve capacity, and we actually run the simulation for how many hours? For 160 hours, and make sure that your um, project parameter processes is checked. So and then we run it. So when I click run like this, and we click no because I would like to explain the number first. So again, the purpose is to understand the number, how the number go from one station to another station, or we call from one process to another process. So again, so this is the number in our arrival. We have 129 in total, and the question is that how many gonna inside here. So we have one, right? But it is as you can see, it is a what do we call WIP. So meaning that in this process, there's one entity inside. So again, because the capacity is one, so it have one inside the process A and zero in the queue, right? And actually, if you go to animate and you can add, for example, resource here, you will actually can see it. But in this case, I don't want to make it too obvious so that you can understand. So how about the process B? The process B, as you can see, let's say how many the entity get inside number in of the process B. For sure, it's gonna be equal to the number out of process A. So we have 129 minus 1. So here, the number out should be 128. So it's gonna be 100. There's no any pending entity inside the process B. So out from the B, it should be 180 as well, 128 as well. And this one, what is it? This is the number in, should be 128, right? And there are 6 WIP, which is the entity inside the process B. So we will, so this one, there are 5, right? Because for the capacity of the process C, there's only one resource for the capacity, for the process C. And then meaning that one is inside the process, it is being exist by the resource, and the other 5 should be on the queue, right? Okay, same thing to this one, right? If you plus it all together, so 129, 117. So the pending is how many? It's 12. So if we use 12 plus 117, you will have 129. So this is a total work in process, right? So this number actually is aligned perfectly with the process dot out here, the report dot out here. So if we compare side by side, so if you open this one, make it bigger, then I will just make sure that it stay on the same line. So if you notice, for example, like say, if you notice here, like say, first of all, like say the process A number in how many 129, right? Because why? Because the entity, because we don't change anything, entity one number in is 29. But if you notice here, so here it's number in 29 because we have one inside the process at the end of the simulation, which is being exist by the resource. So here the number out should be only 429, 28, right? Because it all the number that the resource can release, right? It exists and it release. So if you look at the number out, process A number out, try to find it, where is it here? So it's only 128, same thing. So if we look at here, process B, so because the out number here is 128, 128, so this in should be 128 and out of B also 128, right? Because there is no any pending entity inside the process. So if you go to check it, for example, what is it? Process B number out, process B number in, where is it here? Number in and number out, as you can see, it's 101, 28 and 128, the same. So look at how about this one. C. So because it's out 128, in should be in of the process C should be 128, and then leaving only what 128 minus 6. So it should be 112, right? So if we look at that one, let's say C. So process E 128, right? This one. And how about out? Which out here? Do we have here? Okay, out here. So 122, yeah, 122. Because there are 6 pending inside the 128. So we have only 122, right? So this is how we actually understand and can verify the number in and number out from one process to another process, right? Okay. So again, the importance of the report, this report is so more beautiful if you look at this one. For example, another thing that you need to know. Okay, so at the end of the simulation, which is this one, the final value, you can see it's 12, right? Yeah. So the final value 12, this 1 plus 0 plus 6 plus 5, altogether is 12. And if you look at the number of the BC, so if you can see C or A, meaning that now the current number of BC is final value is 1, meaning that at the end of the simulation, they are still, which is the is still actually, it could be the is or they are. So let's say there are still entity inside the process A because the resource A still busy. Look at resource B. Resource B should be free, right? Because there's no any entity stuck or let's say pending inside the process B. So if we look at that number of busy here, you can see it's 0 because why? Because there's no any entity inside. So this is the way we are reading the resource number busy. Okay, so up you can see this one as well. If you notice here, process A, how many inside the queue? We have 0, right? There's no any queue inside the process A, right? How about the process, let's say that is, how about the process D? It should be how many? 4, right? Because one is inside the resource, the other 4 is on the queue. So if we look at the number in queue of the C, there should be, hold on, sorry, it's not C, sorry, it's D, sorry, it's D. So it should be 4. This here, right? It's 4. So this is the number that you actually can see from the report. So I believe from this kind of logic, you will understand. Let's say, hey, the final observation, the observation of the simulation, when we say process A have 180, process D have 170, you will understand what does it mean, right? By all the logic of the number and connect from here to here. So this is how the simulation arena showing you the number of like this and also the report. So hopefully when we have an exam related to filling the number here, you will be able to do it easily. So that's all for the extra explanation related to arena and report.